We must stand up.
We must stop preaching.
Show a little bit of guts. It is time for us as Christians to stand up, to move out, to do
We
something.
must stand for good.
Hi, my name is Dr. Terry Jones. This is the Braveheart Show. And Islam is of the devil. And here in Gainesville, we got us a pink mayor. We got us a homo mayor. If that doesn't tell the sad state of our city, here in Gainesville, Florida, in Gayville, the home of the Pink Gator, we got us a homo mayor with, of course, a homo agenda. He would like to teach your kids that homosexuality is correct, okay, proper, good, that cross-dressers are not perverts. You get us a homo mayor. How could that happen? Well, we have in Gainesville over 300 churches. Well, we have in Gainesville thousands and thousands of Christians who did not stand up, who did not speak out, who did not say homosexuality is of the devil. Homosexuality is a sin. Homosexuality leads to hell. We have over 300 churches who did not stand up, who did not take a stand. The blood of this man and the blood of other homosexuals is going to be on their hands, on their lily white churches. You know what we have here? We have Pharisee churches. Well, what did Jesus say about the Pharisees? Jesus said, y'all look good. Boy, y'all got nice long robes on. Y'all look good. You're clean. You're white. You stand on the street corner and you pray and you do good deeds. But your insides are full of rotten bones. That's Gainesville. Well, that's the Gainesville churches. Oh, on the outside, they look great. I mean, they look perfect. They've got all of the bushes are cut. They've got manicured yards. Every piece of grass is right in place. The building is painted. It looks nice and good and crispy. They got a little area for the kids to play. They got a little park over here. They got nice paved driveway for the cars. Great, fantastic. But on the insides, it's full of rotten bones. They do not preach the gospel. They do not preach the truth. They do not preach people into heaven. They preach people into hell by withholding the truth. That is how homosexuality can triumph. That is how they can spit on the church. That is how they can elect a mayor. He was elected. Approximately 6,000 people voted for him. I think he won a margin by somewhat over 40 votes. How can that be? I mean, we must have here in Gainesville thousands and thousands of Christians who did not vote, who do not care. Or they voted for him. They voted for homosexuality. A vote for homosexuality is a vote of abomination against God. Well, what does God think of these churches? You know what I think? And I think we can prove it in the Bible. I think God hates these churches. Does God hate your church? The church you go to? Does he hate that church? Probably. More than likely. Yes, absolutely, he does. Because the Bible says, what does the Bible say in Revelations? In Revelations, God's disgusted. God's angry. God's frustrated. God's writes to the churches. And he says, I know your deeds, and I know what you're doing, and you got a nice yard, and you got a playground. He says, I know your deeds. But you're neither hot or cold. God said, I would rather you be hot or cold, because the lukewarm God will spit out. So does God hate your church? at least he dislikes it. Because what we spit out, if we spit something out, if we eat it, spit it out, it is definitely a sign we do not like it. We spit it out. And God says he spits that church out, that's hot or cold. We don't want to be hot or cold because we're cowardly. We're too cowardly to be a real sinner, be a real fornicator, adulterer. We're too cowardly to do that because we want to not do that. That's not really okay. But we're also too cowardly to be hot. We're also too cowardly to really go for God, because that will make people mad. I mean, what does the elements hot and cold do? Causes rejection. If you stick your hand in some boiling hot water, you get close, you just barely touch it, you reject it, you pull back. The same thing with cold. But we do not want to be hot or cold because it causes rejection. And people do not want to be rejected. And that's why we're middle of the road. That's why our church advertisements are open doors, open hearts, and open minds. In other words, God forbid that we would ever make anybody mad, anybody angry, anybody upset. We must stay lukewarm. What is lukewarm? Lukewarm is something you can tolerate. Lukewarm water, you can tolerate it. You can't tolerate hot or cold. But what does the Bible say? The Bible says in Matthew 10:22, you will be hated. Is your church hated? See, in Christianity is actually only black and white. Either you're saved or you're not saved. You're going to heaven, you're going to hell. You're a sinner, you're not a sinner. You're obedient, you're disobedient. There's no gray, there's no middle of the road, there's no lukewarm. So what is the condition of your church? Is your church spoke well about? Do people like you? When they hear the name of your church, do they smile? Or do they hate you? Can they not stand the name? That's actually the condition. That's hot or cold. The Bible says there in Matthew that we will be hated for God, for Jesus, for my name's sake. We will be hated. So that's actually the measurement stick of our church. How much are we hated? It is not how much are we liked, how much are we accepted. Well, like at the guy's funeral, they say nice things about him, and they say, and everybody loved him. Then there was something wrong with him, if everybody loved him. And if everybody loves your church, you've got a great church, a fantastic church, everybody loves it, then you're definitely doing something wrong, because they hated Jesus. And Jesus was perfect. Jesus gave them no reason for them to hate him. He gave them no reason for them to beat him, crucify him, kill him. But he gave them no reason, except he was radical, except he was obedient, and he obeyed God. Churches, it is time. Ask yourself, look at your church on Sunday morning and say, does God hate my church? He probably does. And if he does, it is time to make a change. Let us stand up, stand together, join with us. doveworld.org. doveworld.org. Stand with us. Let us save America before it's too late. God bless.
Dove World.